Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another video. Today's video will be regarding the Citroen Berlingo. For the last couple of weeks it's been jumping around like a kangaroo when I was trying to pull away, and it's also been occasionally missing a beat. When I'm on a bit of a cruising speed of about 40-50 miles an hour, it'll just go and then come back again as though it's just had a fuel drop out. So I've been meaning to look at this for a little while, and then when I went out to do the wipers on the Qashqai, which you would have seen in Monday's video, on the way back I had the throttle cable actually snap on me, so I had to pull that out, tie it up just to give some revs, and in the process of doing that it managed to get me home, but it wasn't very happy about doing so. But I have also already, off camera, I've replaced my oil filter because that's what the old one looked like. That should be a relatively light grey looking colour with a vibrant yellow, but it's all, that's the old air filter, the new one's in there. And then the I've replaced the fuel filter. That wasn't that great either. So and in the process of replacing the fuel filter, I did notice that it was all loose, and I'll show you what I mean now. So with the problems I was having with the van, it could have been down to air, fuel, or the throttle cable, because this is my throttle cable where I've just wrapped it around there just to give me some revs. But anyway, when I opened the bonnet, when I come to doing the oil filter, I noticed there was a couple of little air bubbles in here, and there probably is still some air in it at the moment because I haven't bled it up yet. And as I touched this, it bubbled more air in there, and it turns out that this ring, which you have to undo, this ring, undo the electrical plug, undo that, and then that'll just literally lift straight off. This ring was rather loose. Now you can't really get it super tight, but I was able to undo it very, very easily, and I have done that up as tight as I can by hand. No tools, just by hand, and that should be all right now with a new seal in there. But I'm thinking, because that was loose, that was letting air in, that could have been part of my trouble. And the other aspect as well is, I know the air filter was filthy. To change that, you've literally just got a Phillips screw there, I will say I did also move this pipe out of the way. That's just a 10mm hiding just under here, just to give me a bit more space, but literally down here it is just clipped in. So if you've got a bit more patience than I have, you possibly might be able to do it without removing that pipe. But if you do remove that 10mm there, that pipe just pulls out at that point or further down, and you can get that out quite easily. Remove the cable, and I would normally undo this silver clip. But another thing that I noticed when I opened the bonnet is this point here was completely disconnected and there was no clip on it. But I've just temporarily done a fix there where I've held it with cable ties, because that not being connected there was definitely air going into it, but it would not have been sucked past this mass airflow sensor. So again, that could have been another problem that was causing my jumpiness. So there's three things here which I'm currently repairing. Any one of them could have potentially caused my jumpiness. That could have caused my jumpiness because of air in the fuel. That one could have caused my jumpiness because of it not knowing what air is in the system and potentially sucking crap air into that point down there. Or it could have been this throttle cable stretching and binding up, which is another reason why it's possibly jumping. But so hopefully fixing all of these three things, my van will be right as rain. So let's get to the job in hand and get this throttle cable replaced. So far guys, we've got the throttle cable housing with its clips still there, and I've got what's left of the throttle cable pulled out. Now what I have acquired is this kit. It's got some weird basic drawing set up, not really 100% clued up, but you can see that that plastic clip end is the throttle cable end. This end here is the throttle position sensor in the engine bay. We've got a new sleeving, we've got three new rubber bungs, we've got the actual throttle cable itself. They've even given us various different clips and metal rods and stuff, and little springs and stuff. So various different bits and pieces, and we've got to get right down there in the footwell to get to it. I'll show you what that is, where that is now. So I can barely get the camera in here guys, so bear with me a second while I try and... So basically that little black hole just there is where the throttle cable goes, through there, and it goes through into the cable. And I'm sorry, I can't just tap the screen at this precise moment with the position I'm in to see what the fuck. There we are, it's been focused now. So basically that little black hole there is where the throttle cable has to go, and that's right up inside there, and then it goes on to this point just here with the little clip. So I have decided, out of all of this kit here, I'm going to go the lazy way round, because I need this van on the road like yesterday, because this is my daily vehicle and I need to go do tip runs and all sorts. I've decided I'm literally just going to use this bit, feed it back through the original sleeving, make up the end with this little brass piece, because I've got the Allen key here that they give with a set as well. Then hopefully, fingers crossed, back on the road and won't break anytime soon. If not, it'll be my own stupid fault for not, if it does break very, very quickly, it'll be my own stupid fault for not fixing all these other bits in, because it could be something inside the old sleeving that's caused this to break. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I'm able to get away with that. If not, it's going to be me £30 down and me buying another one, basically. But for now, I need the car on the road, the van on the road, like I say, as soon as yesterday. So I'm literally just going to feed that through, and then get it to come through to the engine bay and put that little brass connector on. So the throttle cable's now in. It's just literally 2 Allen key screws in there. I had to cut some excess off because it gave me nearly twice the length I actually needed. And yes, I know I've used all the old sleeving. That'll either be work in my favour because it was a nice easy fix, or it'll work against me and I have to pay out 30 quid for another new throttle cable bit, but we'll see. Right, so test drive over and done with. I am back on my drive again. It went fantastically well. No more kangarooing, no more jittering, and no more jolting on thingy. But I don't really know what I've done to fix it, because I've fixed 3 potential aspects, which all of them in their own right could have caused that kind of problem. Throttle cable being stretched could have caused jerkiness as it was catching or binding up. Having air in a very loose fuel filter housing, so air in the fuel, could have caused that, where it jitters and jolts, because it did feel like it was occasionally starving of fuel. So that could have been one issue. Having that pipe not connected with a rather filthy air filter could have also caused the same issue with the kangarooing and the joltiness on the acceleration. So all 3 of them in their own right could have caused me this problem. I have repaired all 3 aspects, and if I'm honest, realistically, having all 3 things like that, all of it probably didn't help and played a big part on doing it. But the main focal point is fantastic news. The van is on top form and it's back to being like a little pocket rocket, pulling away nicely and driving lovely. So I'm going to say bye for now. Take care, guys. Just before I go, there'll be another one of my videos in this corner, and my subscribe icon will be down in the bottom corner here. Thank you for watching. Take care.